Hello and a very good evening to all of you. Welcome to Work on Workplace Relations with Aastha. This is Sunday evening, 7:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. And as always, I'm very excited and looking forward for this live session. Looking forward to having all of you join in. So waiting for all of you to join in. We are live on 3 platforms, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook, all at the same time. So welcoming the viewers, the listeners from all the 3 platforms. A big thank you to all those of you who join in every time, and you kind of make the whole session worthwhile, because that's the whole idea, how we can come together in the live session and interact, share, and learn from each other. And for me, these sessions have been phenomenal. So thank you so much, really, from the bottom of my heart. A big thank you. Okay, so till the time we have more people joining in, and for those of you who do not know me, who are hearing me for the first time, let me quickly introduce myself. I am Aastha Tatia, daughter of 2 rock-solid pillars, mother to a lovely daughter, wife of a humor king, an engineer, MBA, corporate executive turned anchor person, now an author and a happiness coach, helping corporate leaders build deep connections, meaningful relationships in their organizations. Yeah, so that's what I do. And today we will be talking about mental health at work. So we are celebrating World Mental Health Day today, and this whole month is the World Mental Health Month. And I think it just gives us an opportunity to kind of reinforce something which is very critical, which should be the topmost priority in our lives. Yeah. So while you don't need a specific day or a month to talk about, to spread awareness about mental health, because that's how critical it is. But still, since we've designated a day, and that always helps. It just brings a conscious effort to the whole thing. So today's session also is aimed at talking about certain aspects of mental health at work. Who's responsible? So specifically, who is responsible? Yeah. So quickly to quote, certain statistics. There was this survey done by NetQuote of some 1,000+ full-time American employees, and the statistics were startling. They are kind of an eye opener. 64% of the employees, they said their jobs were stressful. Okay, about 52% said that their mental health interferes with their work. About 24% of the employees said that they've had a panic attack at some point in time. Yeah, and about 41% said that they've been diagnosed with some mental health challenge issue. Yeah, so why I quoted these statistics, just to reinforce, just to point out how massive the problem is, the challenges, the pain is. Okay, and only 25% of the employees agreed or said that they are fine walking up to the organization and saying that we want a mental health day, that I need time off. Such is the stigma attached to it. And whatever I'm speaking is not something you're hearing for the first time. Yeah, the stigma you would have experienced maybe in your own life or maybe with people around, but the stigma still exists. The whole dilemma whether I should say or not say, because if I say, it's going to portray me in a certain light, in a certain way, doesn't go down well. So, people refrain, they hold themselves back. Yeah. And another survey, which was done in the Indian context, all the major cities of India, again, some 1,100 employees and some 368 employers. Okay. And here, almost 78% employers said that workplace has an impact on the mental health of people. It has an influence. So much is the time that you spend at workplace, or even when you're working from home, even in that context. So it definitely has an influence. And 94% of the employers said that yes, they are aware of the pain, the challenges that are there, but only 9% agreed that yes, we are really doing something about it. Yeah. Now, when I say all of this, this brings me to a very, very important point. Who is responsible for the mental health at work? Okay. Now, before we move on to who is responsible, which is what we're going to talk about today, mental health. When we talk about mental health, what does it really mean? What does it mean? Mental health. Yeah. So all that you're going through, so let's say, what are the thoughts that you're getting? What are the feelings and emotions you go through as a result of those thoughts? Okay. And how is your state of mind as a result? That all is the mental health that we are talking about. So, on a day to day basis, what kind of thoughts are there? What are the thoughts that you're entertaining? And what is the state of mind that you have as a result? So, if you are feeling low consistently, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling frustrated, okay, if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling sad, if you feel hopeless, you feel lonely at work, you feel sad. I'm just talking about different feelings, emotions that people go through at workplace as well. Yeah. So all of these comprise of your mental health. These are attributes, factors which basically impact your mental health, because then you become a certain way. When you're feeling low, when you're feeling upset for a consistently longer period of time, then that becomes a part of you, your way of being. And prolonged exposure to that prolonged way of being, it becomes your personality. You get sucked into it. So a lot of you would be seeing that where when you started feeling low, initially it was a little bit, you ignored it, and then it kind of started to pile up, and you still ignored it, right? And it kept piling up, more and more of those beliefs getting triggered. Remember, we've spoken about how our beliefs are actually governing our lives. So those beliefs getting triggered and then getting stronger, bigger, yeah, and they are giving you a certain way of being. That's who you are. That's how you become. That's who you think you are. Okay, मैं तो ऐसा ही हूँ. Yeah. So now that mental health, whose responsibility is it? Who needs to take charge? We say employers are not doing anything about it, organization is not doing anything about it, HR is not doing, my boss is not doing anything, or if that colleague of mine, he understands everything, then we're all sorted. Okay, or my team is so and so, they don't function well. How do I work? Nobody understands. How will I do my targets? I have the worst of the team. So on and so forth. Different flavors of this, right? Now, when you say all of this to yourself, it has a certain impact. A thought, which is a negative thought, gives you a negative feeling, and which gives you more of that negative thought, and that gives you more of that negative feeling, and then you get into that loop of thought and feeling. Happens? One negative thought and you entertain it, oop, you're gone. You feel low, and then you get more of those thoughts, and then it just starts. I'm sure you would have experienced, we all would have experienced it, right? So my question again is, who is responsible for your mental health? You, that one person who's right there listening to me. Who is responsible for your mental health? Yeah. So, yes, you said it right. I'm sure you would have all said it. It's you. I am responsible for my mental health. And why do I say so? You may say that organizations need to follow systems and processes. They need to ensure there is no toxicity. They need to ensure people are taken care of. I get that. All of that is, of course, one part of the story, where what are those actionable items that the organizations really need to focus on. That's one part of it, right? But what I'm saying here is, when I say you are responsible, it's like I am responsible for my mental health, because whatever is happening outside is beyond my control, isn't it? Whatever is happening where? Is it happening outside? This boss is absolutely unempathetic. He doesn't understand. It's a stress, it's a pain to work with him. Okay? So I'm going to change the organization. Lovely, go ahead and change. Then what? Are you sure you won't have any challenges in that next organization that you've gone to, or the next setup that you've been to? Can you be 100% sure? Not really, right? So then the question arises, if things outside are unpredictable, uncertain, not in your control, whatever they are not in your control, what can you really do about it? There's nothing much that you can do about it. So then it's about turning inwards. How about whatever is happening outside, you are able to steer through it powerfully. You are able to take care of your mental health. Okay, I'm reminded of this one story, beautiful story, a very short one that I just read this morning. So there was this guru, okay, an acharya. He was outside on the road, and he was searching for something frantically. Okay, he was looking for something, just searching. And then his disciple came and he asked Guruji, "What are you searching for?" He said, "Oh, I lost my needle and I am looking for my needle." So the disciple said, "Okay, I'll also help you." And he also started to look for the needle. So after a while, when they were not able to find, he asked Guruji, where did you drop it? Do you recall? So that, we could specifically look at that area. Guruji said, I dropped it somewhere inside. Okay, inside the room where I was. So the disciple was taken aback. He started laughing. He said, "Guruji, if you dropped it inside, what are you doing here? You're not going to find it here. Then we must go and search inside." Now this Guruji he said, "No, but then, inside there's no light. It's quite dark there. Um, Here, there are street lights which are quite bright. Okay, so I thought, let me search here." Now, this Guruji said with a smile, and the disciple who couldn't understand, he said, "What?" And then Guruji looked at him, and in a second, he got it. The disciple got it. That we so often look for things, look for solutions, look for what can relieve me of my pain outside, whereas it is all inside that we've lost. Everything that we're missing out is lost within us, inside us. And where are we looking? We're looking outside. And why are we looking outside? Because inside there is so much darkness, we don't even want to attempt. It's going to be painful. I don't want to look or confront that part of it. Outside is bright. I can blame people. I can blame situations. I can say, I can get into my comfort zone. I can have my own coping mechanisms. I can do whatever I feel like. But this part, which is the real thing, which is where the loss is, which is where the pain is, and which is where I need to really look, that is dark. And therefore, I don't want to look there. That's exactly what is happening with mental health. All these statistics that I told you, people finding jobs stressful, people finding, suffering panic attacks, people having mental health issues, and on top of it, not walking up and sharing, are all people struggling with it. And when I say people, it's you and me. I go through it, you go through it. And for me also, it's taken a while for me to build that muscle to really turn inwards, look at that the dirt, the painful part, confront it, and the journey is still on. It's taken me a while to get comfortable, to get okay with speaking up that I'm not doing well, that I need support. My mental health is not fine. To be able to say that, there is so much of stigma associated with it. So the first point, who's responsible? I think we have a clarity there. There are two different things. One, of course, the organization that you're part of, whatever the organization does, whatever the structures, systems, processes it creates is one part of it. But my mental health, is it linked only to that? Because this is not there, because boss is not this, because colleague is not this, because my partner is not like that, does that impact or control my mental health? Well, it does as of now, but that's where I need to make a choice. That all of this which is not in my control, do I focus on that? Do I break my head for that? Or I rather focus inward and attend to what's missing here. What is that muscle that I need to build so that I will have a very, very good mental health? No matter what happens outside, no matter what boss, what colleague, what teammate, what subordinate, I don't care. My priority is my mental health. So who's responsible? I am responsible. You are responsible for your mental health. Period. Like, get this very straight. If you're not speaking about it, you are struggling, you are dealing with it, that's a choice that you're making. For what? I'm going to look like this. I'm going to look weak. What will happen? Everybody that you are so scared to divulge things to, everybody is dealing with stuff. For all you know, when you speak up, when you share, people will get an encouragement and they will be able to walk up. And you can support other people. Now, this is very important. As leaders, you want to support people. You want to empower people. You want to impact people's lives. How can you do that when you're not doing it for yourself? When you have not experienced it, when you've not broken those barriers, despite the fear, when you've not walked up and spoken about what you are dealing with, how can you encourage and empower anybody else to do that? You cannot. Yeah. So it's your responsibility. Number one, you're not doing it, you will go on struggling. And yes, the impact is, it starts with this much, grows bigger, you run those patterns, grows bigger. The feelings, emotions become stronger. We have enough number of stories and case studies where people have self-sabotaged. Haven't we seen? So now, if it's your responsibility, you've gotten that, what are you going to do about it? When you're not doing anything, what's the impact? You know that. You may be, and impact ranges across a huge variety. From sulking every day, feeling that the day is a burden, the work is not exciting, to a stage where you don't want to continue, but you're doing it because you're supposed to do it, because the responsibilities are there, what will people think, etc., etc., etc. All of that, it just goes on and on. Yeah. So, and that has an impact on your mental well-being, your physical well-being, because that pain manifests itself in the form of some ailment, some disease that you're going through. It will happen for sure, because your mind and body are related, they're connected. Yeah. So if you want to really, the first step is you really want to lead from joy. You really want to be happy. You don't want to continue surviving. You want to thrive, which is like each day I'm going to enjoy, each day I'm going to celebrate what I'm doing. I want to be proud of what I'm doing. If that's the kind of life that you want, I want to be able to serve, impact lives, then you better take charge. Okay, and I'm just using this day today World Mental Health Day celebrated on 10th October. I'm using this day just to reinforce this, that take responsibility, take charge, okay, and rest everything is crap. Like literally, it's all, once you start doing that work, you will see the magic, you will see the shift. But the wounds need to be taken care of. You cannot leave them uncovered, untouched, unaddressed, and then expecting that, oh wow, why am I not feeling amazing? Everything is fine. I have got such an amazing organization. What a profile. I'm growing up the corporate ladder. I have such an amazing team. And still I'm unfulfilled. Still I feel upset because you've not addressed those pains, challenges, the wounds. You're not taking care of your mental health. You're so busy running. You're so busy looking and focusing at what's happening outside. Like I just told the story, he was looking for the lost needle outside on the road. Because that was metaphorically, of course, but I'm just telling you that we are so busy focusing on the stuff outside because we don't want to look inside. It's going to be painful. नहीं confront करना है, मुझे गंदा चीजें नहीं देखनी है. Because when you start to dig deeper, and you start to see what's causing the pain, it's not going to be the most pleasant journey, let me tell you. But it's a choice that you've got to make. When you go through an accident, when there's a pain that you have in your body, the physical body, right? The surgery is not the most pleasant thing. You avoid it. Knee replacement karana. I've seen so many people. Nahi, let me see, exercise, some gharelu nuskhas. Oh, somebody tell me what can I do. Knee replacement hasn't been as successful, When you reach that dead end where it's like do or die, you get the surgery done. And then you go through that whole process. It's happened, not happened. That's exactly the same thing. Attend to it right now. Prioritize it right now, because if you don't let it, if you let it grow, if you leave it unattended, it's only going to get bigger and bigger, impacting your mental health. My claustrophobia got so severe only because it was not addressed. I did not pay attention to it when I was young, when I was a little girl. It was very, very mild, very mild. And I thought, okay, not a big deal. And that's how it just kept growing. It was just a pattern, it was just a pattern. It kept growing, and it became so severe. Yeah. So I hope the message has reached you loud and clear. Mental health at work. Who is responsible? I hope you're clear. It is you who's responsible. You can choose to just sit back and watch. He's to blame, he is to blame, organization is to blame, my partner is to blame, my colleague is to blame, my family is to blame for not supporting me. I have all the hardships. What will you understand when you will go through it? Then you will understand. Okay, great. Nobody cares, honestly. Yeah, nobody cares. You need to decide whether I want to go through all of this every day, sulking, surviving, just existing, or I'm done. this is enough. I really want to turn around my life. And when you make that choice, that's the day your journey starts. And I can guarantee, I can promise, you can literally turn around your life. And imagine when you do that work, you know, and when you share it with other people, that's when you'll really be able to impact lives. You'll be able to serve other people. Everybody is dealing with it, not even one exception. You get me one exception? Nobody. Because that's how our brains are. Till the time we are alive, we'll be forming, creating new beliefs and running those beliefs again and again, attaching meanings to whatever is happening, beliefs, running them again and again. And that's how we're going to feel, how we're going to go through life. So make a choice. That work will take time. It's not something that happens overnight, but believe me, the kind of peace that you're going to experience, it's like you will start to feel that, yes, I am in control. I'm in control. For the first time when I did that, whatever work, it took, I started to feel, okay, now whatever I did, I can see what I'm doing. The awareness muscle, the acceptance muscle, that control muscle, that yes, I am choosing to do something. Right now, I'm choosing to let myself shout. I'm getting aware that I'm shouting right now, but I'm just choosing, I'm making that choice. So then there is no guilt out there. Then I think on the terms that, okay, today I chose to shout. What could have been a different way of dealing with it? Because sometimes we're all human beings. It doesn't mean you become somebody who's absolutely out of all this. There's no anger, there is no breakdown, nothing, you don't ever feel low. No, that's not what I'm talking about. But mental health and doing the work to take charge and have a healthy mental life is all about getting that access, how you can deal with every breakdown. Every time you go down, how can I bounce back powerfully? And that's what resilience is all about. So resilience takes consistent practice. End of it, who's responsible? It's you who's responsible. Hi, Chanchal Chakravarti. Hi, Chanchal. Thank you for joining in. I don't know if you're still there. So thank you. I see some of you there. Thank you so much for joining in. And my only request would be, which I make every time, that all of this that I say, all of it that you say is only gyan, is only maybe good to hear, and is of no meaning, is of no consequence unless you put it to implementation, unless you pick something from it and you really take action. Because understand, right now when you're feeling high, when you feel, yes, I understand, I get this, I'm able to relate with it, I'm going through this, kahin pe kuch hit hua hoga, maybe. If it has, then quickly decide for yourself, what's that one action that I'm going to take? The next action, maybe a very small one. Because the moment you take action, that is what what makes sense. That is what is really important. Otherwise, another hour or so and this will all vanish. Yeah, and I'm sure there are so many sessions happening, so much of stuff available everywhere on social media, so much that you can absorb. You can go on listening, you absorb some, it gets reflected. But my request would be, please pick up one thing for yourself. What is it that you are going to do? It could be something as small as that, yes, I reflected upon this and I saw that in my life I am dealing with this, whatever that issue is. I'm dealing with, let's say, this one belief about at my workplace which pulls me down every time, which makes me feel very, very disempowered, and I'm not doing anything about it. I go to work every day, I come back, or I go about doing my stuff, and nothing beyond that. And every day I'm still feeling low, or I feel my relation with my boss is strained. I feel there is no growth that I'm experiencing, but there's nothing I'm doing about it. Something identifying something as seemingly small as this is not small, by the way, okay, this is the starting point, but even if you're able to nail this, identify this, makes sense, it's worthwhile. Yeah, so go ahead, do that. Thank you, those of you who are live. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining in and for engaging. I would really love to hear from you on how did you find this session? Was there some value that you got? And also your one takeaway from this session today. Okay, and promise to yourself, I would say just promise to yourself that no matter how many times you fall down, you will go back and you will take the charge for your mental health. Okay, don't, I would say every time that you feel low, every time there's a breakdown, and you point finger towards somebody, your spouse, your child, your parents, or your colleague, boss, organization, your health, COVID, anything that you point finger towards, I would say just turn that finger here, okay? It's all inside, because I'm sure you would have pointed those fingers long enough now. Has anything changed? Has anything changed? I have realized whoever I was blaming for, like if I was blaming my husband for something, I kept blaming him. I kept, putting him in that circle. You are the one, you're not doing this. This is not how it happened. See, you did this. Now, when he changed, when things changed, when he shifted from there to there, did anything change with me? I saw no. I was still blaming him. Now I picked up something else. Aren't we all doing this? That just goes on to show that whatever he is doing, that's his journey, that's his beliefs, where he's coming from. Whatever I am going through here, every feeling, every emotion that I'm going through in my life is only my own self-created. Every pain is self-inflicted. Coming from where? From how I'm thinking about the situation, about the person. I can think, oh my God, what has happened with me? I'm devastated, it's over. That's one meaning I can give to a situation. The other meaning could be, okay, this has happened, I got it. What can I do about it now? Let's see. Let me move forward. Happens, no? We see those categories of people and we wonder how come different people have different reactions to the same situation. So that's where you need to make a conscious choice, turn inwards, take charge, and stop blaming. And when I say stop blaming, it's not about that you switch on, off, no blaming, blaming, no blaming, blaming. No, it's about every time bringing that awareness. Oh, okay, what was I doing right now? Observe yourself, okay? And if need be, go all out, seek support from somebody, talk to people who you trust, talk to people who you know will understand, speak up. Before it's late, speak up. You have people around you who are dealing with stuff, please encourage them, give them the space so that they could speak to you. Hold space for them. I just created a video today. I think you'll be able to see that video maybe tomorrow, day after on the YouTube. But I spoke about holding space for people, holding space for someone. It is so important. It is the best gift probably that you could give to anybody, if you could just hold space. And what does that mean? It just means that you could let the other person just be. If you could just be there for them without any judgments, without any evaluations, unconditional support, if you could open your hearts for people so that they could walk up to you, share whatever they want, even at your workplace, thinking that this is not my business, it's his journey, he needs to deal with it, that's his personal life, versus holding that space. His solutions are for him to find, actions are for him to take. You are only holding that space. So more on that in the video that's to come, but I hope I've touched different aspects of mental health. So go ahead and take charge. Take charge. Because the moment you take charge, how will automatically start to figure out. Don't worry about how it's going to happen. Take charge that my mental health is my responsibility. My mental health is my responsibility. I take charge of my mental health. My mental health is a priority for me. I can take a day off. Let me take a day off. First, I'm going to sort out what's bothering me here. Because you push that aside, oh, I have this meeting to attend, I have this deal coming through, I'm meeting this client, बहुत मुश्किल से appointment मिला है, how can I let it go for this crap here? It's not crap. It is impacting your life, isn't it? So my humble request, please don't ignore this. Prioritize this. Your life is most precious. You have no idea what this can cause. What is the impact? Yeah. So sending lots of love, lots of happiness to each one of you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me every Sunday. It really, really means a lot. And I love to talk to all of you. And I talk from whatever I have gone through in my life, whatever has been my journey, and the journey is still on. So I really, really am glad I can share all of this with you. And I hope you all benefit, find value here. So I will see you next Sunday, same time, 7:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time, live on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook all together. Yep. So take care. Have a great, great week ahead with lots of action. Take action, 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 and prioritize your mental health. Okay. I would love to hear from you. Please do write to me. What did you get from this? What did you see for yourself? Did you see where you're stuck? Yeah, you can write to me personally also, and I would be happy to contribute in any way that I can. Lovely. Take care. Bye bye. I'll see you next week.